I have been a Red Sox fan since 2009. A couple years after their previous World Series win, when they beat the Rockies, and a few years before 2013. This is just before I went to military school, for high school for a few years. I've gotten to witness the two championships they managed to win in that span. I also had to witness the chicken and beer team, the Bobby Valentine squad, 14 and 15 when we were just mediocre. 2016, 2017, the year before the title. 2019, where we basically punted on defending the title. But I don't think I've ever been more tested by a team that I like watching these last 6 years than the Boston Red Sox. And I say that because in that span, we've made some rather indefensible moves. Trading Mookie Betts for pennies on the dollar, letting Kyle Schwarber walk in free agency, trading Chris Sale for pennies on the dollar, letting Alexander Bogaerts walk in free agency for nothing. And those moves in and of themselves are bad enough in a vacuum. And then you come into this year. The last 3 seasons, we were up and down to start the year. We get on a hot streak, and then we stumble down the stretch. Combination of bad pitching, fielding, or in the case of last year, the offense kind of fell off a cliff due to injuries. And then the 2024 offseason happens. You get Alex Bregman, manage to pry him from the Houston Astros, a team that's dominated the AL for almost a decade now. You got Rafael Devers. What's his name? Brain fog, sorry. Tristan Casas, Brayan Bello, Garrett Crochet, we got him from the White Sox, Cutter Crawford. Lucas Giolito, hopefully he can turn things around after injuries. And this season we started off, same as the last few years, up and down. But I cleaned my apartment today to an extent. Had to take care of some stuff. Just got out of the shower like an hour ago. When you take a nice hot shower, like once you get out of it, you're feeling good. You're getting dressed, getting ready to just end the night. I got this peach ginger tea. It tastes really good. Got some water with me because at the end of the day, drink water. And then the Red Sox swept the Yankees. Even in a year when, if we're not particularly good, as long as we beat the Yankees, all right. So I happen to be perusing on ESPN, and I see the game score go final. Red Sox 2-0 over the Yankees. Complete the sweep. I'm feeling good. All that. And then not even 10 minutes later, maybe 20, our best player got traded. Or at least I found out our best player got traded. That's right. Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants. A guy who we gave a big deal a year and a half ago. 10 years, 300 plus million. You're our face. We are going to build this team around you. We traded our best player. And you know what? Coming into the year, things between him and the front office and ownership, not great. You make the Bregman signing. He's got to go from third base to DH. He wasn't particularly feeling it, and he made that well known. And then the Casas injury, he blew out his knee. He's done for the year. And they're asking him to move to first base. And he's like, I'm not feeling that either. I'm not moving to first base. I'm staying at DH. You didn't already ask me to move from third base, which is my position, to DH. I'm not moving again. Whatever his reason may be, he's just like, nah, I'm not feeling that. And there's been genuine friction between him and the front office since before the season started. But you know what? You sweep the Yankees. You've won 5 straight in 8 of your last 10. You're playing your best baseball of the year. I was about to say basketball. And then now you completely take the wind out of the sails. When I thought about making this video, I was tempted to come into this shit, screaming, carrying on, crashing out, shit like that. But that I feel like that's unnecessary. But I don't see what this Red Sox group is doing. You already have one indefensible trade from 6 years ago. The Mookie Betts trade is still indefensible. The best player you got from that was Alex Verdugo, and he's no longer with the team. You trade Chris Sale for pennies on the dollar. And now the Devers trade, pennies on the dollar. One of the guys they got, he's in the minors. He's been optioned to the minors. The third guy they got, I forget his name. I'll add that in the comments. The 2 key guys they got, both pitchers, both of them have an ERA north of 4. Jordan Hicks, the first pitcher, a part of this trade, he has an ERA just shy of 7. But you know what? I'll be the first to admit I haven't been paying much attention to the Red Sox this season so far, outside of the opening series versus Texas, because I've been so focused on basketball and the Stanley Cup playoffs and all that. So I know I need to catch up and all that. But this shit right here, I don't get it. And I've seen reports about how they may be planning to sell the team. So maybe they're trying to get out from under having to pay his deal. But if that's the case, why not just why give him the deal in the first place? Why not do a sign and trade? if you were going to trade him a year and a half into his new deal? Why go out and get Alex Bregman? Why get Lucas Giolito? Why get Garrett Crochet? When I wake up tomorrow, what time is it? It's 11:15. The Red Sox are a half a game out of the third wild card. A half a game. And again, they're playing their best baseball of the season. And I feel like in this kind of situation, you just got to figure it out. Just figure it out. Yeah, there may be a grudge, but figure it out. There is no, at least they didn't trade him inside the AL. They sent him to an NL team. But we face the Giants in a week. So that's going to be awkward. And then there's reports we may be sellers as the deadline looms. Story, Masataka Yoshida, who hasn't played this year due to injury. We just called up the best prospect in baseball, Roman Anthony. So we made all these moves for what? What was the point? Why? We've seen how the last 3 years have trended. Why give the team hope? I don't get it. I don't. I'm sorry. I've been there with the highs and the lows, but this is about as low a point as I've ever felt as a Red Sox fan. Outside of the Betts trade, the chicken and beer season, Bobby Valentine, it. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. This is about as sick as I felt as a Red Sox fan, and that's with the Betts trade. It's about the same. It's about the same. And you know what? If this team falls off a fucking cliff, I think Red Sox fans should stop coming to games, because this is some bullshit. The Rays aren't particularly good. The Jays, they're playing better. The Orioles stink. The AL wild card is up for grabs. But as long as you make money, who gives a fuck? Right? Who gives a flying fuck? This ain't right. It's not right. And you know what? Whatever you may think about Devers and how he handled this, I will give that to you. I'll give it to you. Maybe there's a better way he could have gone about it. You won't hear no argument from me in that regard. But this is 6 years in a row of this front office and ownership group, whether it be Shane Bloom or Craig Breslow, shooting itself in the foot when all that could have been avoided. And outside of just a random ALCS run in 2021, the Red Sox have been mediocre. Seven years since we last won our World Series. We have one season where we could say we've legitimately been good. One. Nah, man. Like, this shit ain't right, man. This shit ain't right. I've never felt so low about a team that I've rooted for ever in my fucking life. Ever. This is even like, and I'm a Phoenix Suns fan too. And when that team was awful, when they were the laughing stock of the NBA, like I felt low about them. But nowhere near where I feel about the Red Sox now. Shit ain't right, man. Shit ain't right. I'm gonna stick by the team. That's my team. But nah, man. Like this shit is nah.